Hi, this is Joy, your assistive technology professional, and today we're going to talk about Roho cushions, which is a brand name for an air cushion. There are other types of air cushions, but we're going to look at this one specifically. Air is a great medium to sit on because it has such great skin protection as well as kind of distribution of your weight when you're sitting on it. So for folks who have a history of decubitus ulcers or sores, it can be really great. But they are fairly high maintenance cushions, so it's really important to take care of it, because if you don't, then the cushion isn't doing what it's supposed to and it may be harming you. So if you come a little closer, you can see that we have a Roho cushion out and it's not in the cover right now. So normally it doesn't look like this, but you can see it's got all of these air pockets. The one that we're looking at here is called a Quadtro cushion because it can actually, it's divided into 4 quadrants. Or can be. So right now, with the green pressed in, air can slosh. If I push here, the air can slosh all the way over here. Same thing if I press here, it can slosh all the way through. But when we lock it, it can only slosh within those quadrants. So it can help people feel a little more stable, a little less wiggly when you're moving in the chair. So what you first want to do, you want to make sure it's on green if you have one of these. You want to open the valve, take your pump, put it in, and then you're gonna pump it up, and you're actually gonna overfill all of these air pockets. Now, because there's only kind of one connection, you can see that this first quadrant is really full. So I'm actually gonna kind of press on this in order to get the air sloshing into the other quadrants, okay? And that this is just something you have to do kind of the first time you fill it up. After that, it might, these others shouldn't lose too much air, but you definitely want to make sure you're not just overfilling the one quadrant. Now I am overfilling for a good reason, and that is we want the air pressure to equalize. So the way to do that is to overfill it. You would never want to sit on this because you'd be sitting on the peaks, and that would be hard. So it's kind of like an overfull waterbed where you're not submerged at all into it. So then I'm gonna open this, and I can kind of hear that air is coming out of this. We're gonna let that sit a few minutes, let the temperature regulate. Some things to consider with this are that when air gets hot, it expands. So if you are inside and you do this in your air conditioning and then you go outside and it's really hot, this is actually going to expand. So just be aware of that. And it's why you want to check it regularly. So that's one thing. The back here also has a Roho cushion in it. Some people who are at risk for back sores, it's the same thing. So there is just a nozzle here. I'm going to do the same exact thing. So I'm just going to take this, pump it up, and if you look on the other side, you'll just see how it's kind of pumping up. So it's really overfilled. And same thing, you can kind of hear the hissing. We're just gonna let that sit. And then once it's sat for a little while, then we can go ahead and close it. And now the goal is when you sit in it, you sink into it a little bit, but you definitely wanna close it before you sit on it, because otherwise you're gonna bottom out and you'll hit the metal tray underneath. So if you have any questions about cushion care or about dealing with your cushions, just comment below. And thanks for watching this week.